The following episode may, and most likely does, contain spoilers, foul language, and a list of things Naruto believes in. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back to another episode of Two Dicks Exposed. I am not Mike.
And I am not Pat.
And today we interrupt your regularly scheduled podcast to bring you a filler episode.
Nabu. The worst of all episodes.
Turn it off now. So there's filler episodes, and then there's recap filler episodes.
Ooh.
Those are the worst of all episodes.
You know what? Yeah, I'd have to agree. Like, filler episode, at least there's a story to it.
It's something funny.
It's something.
10% of the time.
But you can at least turn it off. With a recap episode, I'm always afraid that if I don't, watch, how much of this is a recap? Right? Is the whole episode a recap?
Slime Season 2 did that.
Yes.
Yeah, the first half of, episode 1 of Season 2 was a recap, and then it was all new shit. So,
Yeah.
I watched, 10 minutes of it. I was like, yeah, I don't need to watch this. And I skipped it, and I was like, what the fuck? I missed something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Fuck that.
Yeah, because you're just like, well, so you just have to drag that slider bar to see, is this whole thing going to be a recap, or is there going to be some new stuff added in? That is probably the worst. Yeah, that's true.
The bane of our existence.
Some One Piece does that a lot, where mostly in the Wano arc right now, it'll be like, oh man, let's remind ourselves why we don't we hate the Kaido, because red bean soup. There's literally a whole thing about how
What?
Is it Tama-chan?
Yeah, Tama.
Tama. There's a girl. So the whole island's being starved, and so along comes Luffy. Yada yada yada. Things start to happen good, and Tama-chan gets to eat some.
I feel like you're having a stroke.
Yeah, I am, dude.
Red bean soup. Things start to happen good.
Kaido is starving people. Tama is starving. Tama eventually gets to eat red bean soup. While Tama is eating said red bean soup, she cries and goes, "Oh, this is so delicious!" Ah! She's ugly, smiling, crying, whatever, And they reuse that sequence so many times. There's whole episodes dedicated to her crying over this red bean soup, because it's you gotta remember why you're fighting, guys. She was so happy that she finally got to eat red bean soup that it was such a big deal to her.
Reason number 10,004, I don't watch One Piece.
I know. But they do it so often. Almost every chance they can get. Even when they bring in and they're like, "Oh, we had this red bean soup. Oops, we dumped it. It's not a big deal." And Zoro's like, "Oh, how could they spill red bean soup with Tama? She was so happy to have red bean soup." And then they go into it again, and I'm like, who gives a fuck? I want Tama to get stabbed. That's how much I hate her.
Just find out she's allergic to beans.
Right.
Just dies. What brought her so much happiness ultimately kills her.
And again, in the anime and the manga, it's nothing. It's whatever.
It's 3 panels.
Yeah, and then, but in the anime, I swear to God, if we're talking filler, they just have to fill that shit in every single time they can. But if we're talking about filler episodes outside of that, there's also plenty of times where they recap. Lately, they've been recapping Oda's story, and I'm like, we get it. Oda got fucked over by Kaido. Can we just? We want Gear 5. Give us Gear 5 already.
Isn't Oda the writer of One Piece?
Yes. Oda's also the name of a character in this
Okay.
show. Yeah.
Okay. God, I'm so confused. And I'd catch up, but there's 1,200 chapters.
Yeah, good. But if we're talking about filler episodes all together, One Piece is actually one of the few shonens that has very few filler actually. Almost everything in that story is canon.
And the stuff that's canon should be filler.
Yeah.
Talking about Davy Back.
Yes. Yeah, I forget that Davy Back is not filler.
Afro Luffy is 100% canon.
It's canon.
Oh, I did read that.
But G10 is filler.
And one of the best arcs.
One of the best arcs.
Yeah.
G10 is one of the best arcs, but it's filler. But Davy Back is not filler. Yeah. But yeah, One Piece barely has any filler in it, which is surprising over 1,000 some episodes.
Yeah, I remember seeing a guy made a video online where it's I can't believe you watch One Piece. There's so much filler. And then it's no, because out of 1,400 episodes or something like that, out of that 150 are filler, which is 11%, which is less than most animes out there.
If we're talking about like percentages, we just figured out like Bleach. Bleach is notorious 160,
50% filler.
almost 50% filler.
And so I never watched Bleach back in the day. I just read it. But I saw this thing where it was like, I guess whenever filler would happen, they would have a little mini where Ichigo would come running in and be like, hey, okay, I'm ready to do this. And they're like, nope, this week's a filler episode. And he's like, wait, what?
It became a recurring joke in this anime. Like, if the first couple times it was, filler. But then eventually there were so many filler that they just made a joke of it. It's like, ha 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 ha. But like, for real, can you shut the fuck up and go back to the story?
Right.
How many times they would have like, oh, Ichigo's about to fight Grimjaw Jaggerjack, and you're like, yes, dude, I've been hyped for this fight. Thank you, give me the fight. 4 episodes of filler.
Well, it was like right in the middle of the Ula Quara fight or whatever. Okura fight. They had an entire filler season.
Yep. Bleach is the most notorious for filler, and they wonder why people lost like interest in it.
Which makes me so thankful for 1,000-Year Blood War.
Oh, it's so good.
Because that was just
so good.
Pure
beautiful
story.
Love it.
So good.
I'm excited that they're not like, they're just like, you know what? We're just gonna take it bit by bit, build upon it, and I'm like, good. That means no filler? All right, thank you. Mm-hmm. Watch like next season's all filler.
But I mean, they have no reason to, because
it's
over.
I know,
like,
but
like filler exists because the anime is catching up
to the manga. Yeah,
like that's the reason it exists. I mean, that's the reason Full Metal Alchemist. I'm gonna say it. Full Metal Alchemist. The second half of that season is filler. All filler.
All of it's filler.
I mean, they had like 3 episodes based on that one governor guy running the train town.
Yeah,
or whatever. And then that's really like 1 chapter in the manga.
What's so funny is that I remember when I finally watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and finally read Full Metal Alchemist, that I did not realize that, like, because, based off the first season, when like they spend so much time in that desert sand village when the first arc happens, when he
with like the priest and all that,
and the girl who's trying to get her boyfriend back, right? But they're in that village area for so much of the first anime. Like, so much of the anime's plot line revolves around her, because she then gets pregnant and she becomes like the leader of the church and all that stuff,
right? Mary's Scar,
but none of that. Like, they're in the village for like 3 episodes in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, or not even that, maybe 2, and then they're out, and then they're never there again, except for like to touch on the fact that like
they were there
and the tunnel for the transmutation circle is built under that town as well.
Right.
That's it.
No, like that town was supposed to just be introduction to Philosopher's Stone, and that's it. Like, not supposed to play a major part. The original FMA had like nothing else to build upon, so they were like, all right, we're gonna do this. One thing I did think that was interesting was in the original FMA they made Lust the Roy Mustang's ex-girlfriend.
No, he was Scar's brother's ex-girlfriend.
Is that what it was?
Former roommate.
Yep.
Former roommate.
Scar's brother was also an alchemist, and
he was like the scientist or whatever.
Yeah, scientist. Maybe not even alchemist. But he had a girlfriend, and that's who Lust is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I remembered her being like the girlfriend of someone.
That is why it's one of the things that I actually do like about the original FMA is the fact that the different sins were based off of somebody relevant to the story that had used the mom, Edward and Alphonse's mom was one of the sins. I can't remember which one she was, but
okay.
Yeah, like
and they completely changed who Sloth was.
Yeah. Well, I think Sloth was still Sloth. I don't know. It's been a long time since I watched the original.
I blanked out the original so bad.
It's parts of it's there, but yeah, there's a lot of animes like in the original '90s series that had that as well. Claymore did that. Claymore had a filler ending as well because the manga was nowhere near where it was supposed to be. Supposedly not Cowboy Bebop, Trigun also has a bunch of filler because the manga was not done before the anime caught up to it. So there's like a bunch of like little things in it. Supposedly, I don't know, the new series that just started, it's supposed to be like actually accurate to the manga.
Stampede.
Yeah, I don't know.
It looked interesting.
Isn't it done by Studio Trigger?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's going really fast though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll try giving it a shot.
Yeah.
There's no Millie.
Tall lady's gone.
What?
Yeah. They replaced her with essentially, God, what is his name? It's just a generic old man with a mustache.
That's dumb.
And a drinking problem.
Then, if we're talking filler as well, we can't not talk about the 2-year fillers of Naruto. So we all know that Naruto ends when Sasuke runs off and joins Orochimaru, and then like obviously Shippuden starts right after, right?
Yeah, you have that glorious time skip.
Yeah,
just
beautiful
one
time
chapter.
skip. But for those of us who watched the anime as it came out, we didn't get that. We got an arc where Rock Lee with the Curry of Life. We got the infamous one where they found the bug that can track anybody no matter where they were in the continent, as long as they like had a thing they could smell, and they catch the bug, and it's like, oh yeah, we got the bug, and it's gonna be able to help us track down Sasuke. And then Naruto farts, and it just tracks Naruto, and the infamous.
Don't forget when they made ramen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The star chakra episode one where there was a star that fell on this earth, like this village, and they were getting chakra from. Bro, it was bad. It was just bad.
The Mizuki Tiger arc. The best.
No, why?
And Robot Naruto.
Yeah. I forgot to bring him up in the Mecha episode.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's based off of like because they introduced him in the video game Naruto, like Shippuden Strikers or something like that.
Yeah. It was a spin-off episode from.
Based off
like
the
Ninja
game.
Blast or something.
Yeah,
like that.
they added a Mecha Naruto, and they were like, let's put him in the anime as a filler episode. We're like, okay, this is fun.
Yeah, giant mech made by Orochimaru that has equal power to the Nine Tails.
To be fair, though, that episode is actually pretty funny. But
I'm so glad I only read that and did not have to suffer through all that filler.
There is one filler episode in Naruto though that is actually worth like watching, and that is when you finally see Kakashi's face.
Yeah.
You're
gonna say that, but you're gonna leave out the episode with Hinata and the waterfall.
Oh, where we finally see her use the tiger fist thing for the first time.
The tiger fisting.
Tiger fisting.
She be tiger fisting. Oh yeah, the who doesn't like a good episode where it ends with you seeing a half nude 12-year-old girl under a waterfall?
Oh, that's the one where Naruto is spying on her.
Yep.
Okay.
Then back to Bleach, you had the Bounto arc, which I didn't hate. I didn't hate the Bounto arc, right?
I don't even know if I know what that is.
It's the one where they were the spirit vampires.
Yeah, I definitely did not watch it. No.
It's not that I it's bad, right? But I like the concept of their version of like how they did vampires in Bleach. They weren't like they didn't go around drinking people's blood and stuff like that, because spiritual power like Rietsu was like their building blocks of the world. So instead of them going around drinking blood, they went around and they like drank people's spiritual power, and that's how they drained people. And I was like, that's actually pretty cool, but it was bad.
I consider the whole Fullbring arc filler.
The Fullbring
arc
it's not should be filler.
That's what I consider it, because I'm like, all right, you went from Aizen to this shit,
yeah,
and then you're gonna jump right into the 1,000-year blood war.
Yep,
and it's like
should be filler. I thought Fullbringer was a filler. So after Aizen, right, I was like, oh, okay, and then they went into the Fullbringer arc. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna skip this, and then Bleach ended, and I was like, oh man, so that sucks. Like they kept going afterwards after Aizen, and then a friend of mine in high school who was like, you know, like way deeper of a weeb than I was at the time, was just like, you know, Fullbringer is an actual canon arc, right? And I was like, wait, what?
Like, why?
Like, why? Like, so I forced myself to watch it. My nephew, who just watched all of Bleach to get caught up for 1,000-year blood war, he literally got the Fullbringer arc, and he was like, can I skip this? And I was like,
I mean, yeah, you just need to understand that when you pick it up again, Ichigo's going to have Shinigami powers again.
Yeah.
They're like fake, but they're real.
Yeah. So I got to bring up our once per episode, which is obviously, you know.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Goku acted the Mickey.
Virginia wasn't invited to Freezer's birthday party.
The cake was delicious. So, if we're talking filler episodes, we cannot not talk about...
No, Dragon Ball Z has 30 years on the air. There's not that much content out there. There's obviously filler episodes, and the best filler episode that Dragon Ball Z produced is easily the learner's permit episode when Goku and Piccolo have to go and get their driver's license.
Yes.
Because Chi-Chi fucking stepped on him and was like, no, I'm sick of this. Like, you can't just fly everywhere. Like, I need you to know how to drive a car. Take me to the store so I can buy groceries and, like, books for Gohan and everything like that.
How dare you fly faster than the speed of light, where we could get to town in like 2 seconds?
Right.
You know, actually,
I just want to be normal.
I want to point out one thing, right? If Goku and them can fly faster than the speed of light, but Goku's instant transmission is like super fast, then like, how big is that world? Truly, how big is that world that the fact that they can fly faster than the speed of light, but it still takes them like 10 seconds to get to like whatever town they're getting to, or like 5 minutes.
So this is a fun thing that I don't know, Dragon Ball Super Hero kind of like touched on, and I think I mentioned it in an earlier episode. It's like what they drag out in the anime is literally like half a second when you look at it in real time. So like if you think about like the entire Frieza and King Cold versus Trunks fight, like in real time that took like a minute and a half for Trunks to just completely obliterate them. Okay. But in episode time, that was like 5 episodes because it was drawn out and everything like that. But like in Dragon Ball Superhero, you know, the new scientist kid, he like brings up a video, he's like, we didn't even know about these people, and it's literally like Trunks shooting a blast real quick, Frieza jumping in the air, and then Trunks is already there cutting him in half and like blowing him up in all of 8 seconds. So like I guess that's something to take into account, but it's like
I was just curious. All right, so back to the driver's license episode.
Back to the driver's license episode. So you got Goku, who is Goku. I mean, useless at everything that doesn't involve punching.
I mean, that's
so
fair.
You know, he has like this crazy stern driving instructor who's like, you're doing this wrong. You didn't use a blinker. You know, you didn't, do this right. And he's just like going like a madman driving everywhere. And then you have Piccolo, who's trying to do everything right. And he has like this hot beach bimbo of a driving instructor who's like, oh, you can go faster if you want to. Really, like, show me some thrills. Yeah, I love your horns. And it's like, it's peak. It's peak. It needed to be drawn in the actual manga.
Yeah, like that needs to be canon.
Right.
That is filler that needs to be canon.
You know what doesn't need to be canon?
What's that?
Garlic Jr.
Is Garlic Jr. canon?
Yeah, it's the whole anime season.
But wait, is that like canon in the manga?
No, I mean, it's not in the manga.
Okay.
But they animated it, so it's canon. Well, that applies for everything except for movies and GT.
Right.
But it's considered part of the DBZ timeline.
I would not hate the Garlic Jr. saga if it wasn't for the fact that it's just Gohan and Krillin crying for their dad. Mm-hmm. Like, Dad, come save me. Where you at? Goku, come save us.
You know what pisses me off about it, too? So, Garlic Jr.'s post-Frieza saga.
Yeah. So,
Vegeta's on Earth.
Yeah.
And you're telling me Vegeta's going to sense someone strong and not fight him?
Yeah.
No. Also, Gohan, when he gets pissed, goes toe-to-toe with Final Form Frieza.
Yeah.
And you're telling me he can't take this little gremlin out? Like, I don't care that he's like...
Krillin went toe-to-toe with third form Frieza.
Right. Piccolo went toe-to-toe with third form Frieza.
Yeah. And
it took Final Form to overthrow Piccolo.
Yeah, but he still had to hold off against Final Form for like 5 minutes?
Right.
So he still had to hold his own against Final Form Frieza so Goku could like charge the Spirit Bomb.
Right. So you're going to sit here and tell me as animators that Garlic Jr. is on equal footing as Frieza.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. It's just a bad arc.
It's a bad arc. And I mean, they have random like one-off fillers after that too. The next filler that jumps to mind with Dragon Ball Z though has to be the Dragon Ball Super episodes, where you have you have the baseball episode.
Yeah, well, that's again peak.
So you got Universe 6, Universe 7 playing baseball against each other because they don't want to animate another tournament arc.
No.
And then you have the episode where Ariel or however you pronounce her name, the little robot from Dr. Slump comes in and just wipes the floor with all the Z fighters. That was prime.
Yes.
That was prime. But that was followed by another 30 episode of filler before the Tournament of Power.
Oh yeah.
Kicked off, and
you know what?
One of those episodes, like Hit killed Goku because Goku put a
bounty
on himself. And
what I wish was filler was the entire Goku Black saga.
I really enjoyed everything until the end.
That ending is so bad that it kind of makes me just not want the rest of it.
Yeah.
Like the ending was so bad that I just like it negates all the build up.
Yeah, that arc had everything in the world.
Yep.
Going for it to be beautiful. Like you're bringing Future Trunks back. Goku's an enemy. Like
yeah, it could. What
else do you need?
Why didn't it end the way it should have been? Why didn't it end with like Goku and Vegeta being like blah blah blah, and then doing something to make Trunks like step up and like be the winner?
Right.
Because that's how it should have been. It should have been like Goku and Vegeta show up, they do their fight, yada yada yada. Vegeta gets hurt, which makes Trunks get like super angry, which lets him tap into like a form.
Right, lets Trunks go Super Saiyan 3 because he hasn't reached that yet. And we know from him fighting Goku that Trunks' Super Saiyan 2 is on equal level to Goku's Super Saiyan 3.
Right.
Because hybrid Saiyans are just stronger than full-blooded Saiyans.
Which is like, I heard like something about Toriyama saying that like it has something to do with the niceness of the Saiyans makes them stronger.
Yeah, it's something, it has to do with like the humanity that comes from their human side.
Right.
Because it allows them to feel more emotions than the Saiyans who are more like, they see things in black and white.
Right. And because of that, since Goku, Trunks, and Gohan are half human, they can tap into their emotions a lot deeper than Goku and Vegeta can.
Well, and then that's why you have like Goten, who him and Trunks can go Super Saiyan at like age 5.
Yeah.
Because, you know, for them it's like, oh, I lost my toy. I'm so pissed off. I'm going to go Super Saiyan now. You know, it's so easy to unlock. And then you have Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. 100 years later who don't even know what Super Saiyan is, but they're like, I can make my hair blonde.
Right.
And yeah.
That's GTs, everybody.
Is
that Dragon Ball?
Dragon Ball Z.
I thought that was GT's ending.
I think that's no, because
are you sure? I think
Z
that's GT's
ends
ending.
with the tournament with Oob, where Goku flies off with Oob.
And and GT ends with Goku flying off with Shenron.
Right. Does
GT ends with Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr.
Yeah.
So Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. are GT.
GT.
Yes.
Not Z's. Okay.
Well, okay. Yes. So the actual like ending of the GT anime, like the episodes, not Pat, 100% correct. So he absorbs into Shenron, flies away. And then there's like the Path of a Hero movie or whatever.
Yes.
Where it follows Goku Jr. with adult Pan. And he's like, I have to go to Mount Paozu and fight the witch and stuff like that. And then he learns Super Saiyan at the end because he finds like Grandpa Gohan's thing in the Dragon Ball. And then he fights Vegeta Jr. in a tournament. And that's
also
GT.
where he finds the 4th Dragon Ball and meets Goku.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what's kind of sad when you think about that? At some point in that 50 years, the Vegeta's family and Goku's family had separated to the point where their grandkids don't know who each other are.
Right. Like that would blow my mind. Like the fact that like Pan and Bra wouldn't know each other.
Right. Like they just decided to part ways.
Right. Also, that's weird to think that Pan is the same age as Bra. And that's Gohan's son, but that's Vegeta's daughter. Yeah. So wait, wouldn't that make if we're going by that logic, if Goku
Pan would be stronger than Bra.
Pan, yeah, but if we're going by that logic of like half human makes you stronger, so Pan gives birth to another set of family, which then gives birth to Goku Jr. So Bra would give birth to somebody, which then would give birth to Vegeta Jr., which means that Goku Jr. is more human than Vegeta Jr. is. So that means Goku Jr. would be stronger than Vegeta Jr. because his Saiyan blood has been diluted more to the humanity.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll we'll make
Family Tree.
Family Tree.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. But we're talking about
fillers.
Not Dragon Ball Z.
We had a filler in our filler episode.
Yes.
We always have fillers in our episodes. So another filler that's worth talking about is we gotta talk about Dungeon Dice Monsters.
Oh my god, is it time to duel?
It is time to duel. We already did that joke.
Yeah, we did. It's so good you can bring it back around though.
But you're right. You're right.
Dungeon
Dice Monsters was amazing.
Yes. And you know who picked it up perfectly was freaking Little Karibo in the Abridged series.
Oh my god, dude. I love the Abridged series so much. Like, I kind of want to go back and like watch it now.
Wait a second. So I have a question because I don't remember his name. The guy who created Dungeon Dice Monsters.
That would be... Oh, no, I know this. Oh, come on. Not Maximilian Pegasus.
No, he created Duel Monsters.
It's killing me.
Bringing sexy back. Yeah.
Duke Devlin.
Duke Devlin.
Thank you. I got it.
He's a main character.
Engineer.
In the rest of the series.
He is.
How did they introduce him in the manga if Dungeon Dice is a filler?
Wait, is Duke Devlin in the manga?
Is Dungeon Dice not a filler?
I don't think it's in the manga.
You don't think... Wait, do you think Duke Devlin's not in the manga? That's what we got to know. If Duke Devlin's in the manga...
God, my world might be flipping on its head right now.
Yeah, like if Duke
we need
Devlin's
to redact
in the manga,
this right now. Redact, not redact.
Yeah.
So Duke Devlin is... Oh, wait.
Oh my god.
Redacted.
You heard it here first, fellas.
Dungeon Dice Monsters is canon.
Dice Monsters is
canon.
canon.
Pat has proved me wrong off air.
Oh my god.
What is filler is the virtual world where before on the way to the Battle
the Five
Tower.
God Dragon arc.
The virtual world.
Yeah, Noah or whatever his
Yeah,
name is.
Noah, and then each of the chairmen become Dungeon Dice Monster, and you have
filler.
your dungeon or you have your dungeon master or whatever.
You know, I like that idea. I thought that was actually a cool idea that they implemented in that for that.
You know, they released official rules for that, so you could play the Yu-Gi-Oh card game with deck masters.
Dude, yeah. I actually kind of like that idea.
It was kind of dope. Like
I respect it.
When we played Yu-Gi-Oh, there was a solid 3 months where we used deck masters.
Yeah. Are we sure that this is filler now? Because my world's been flipped upside down ever since we found out that Dungeon Dice is not filler.
Duke Devlin's a main character.
Yeah.
How closely does the anime follow to the manga, though?
I mean, it skips the whole first.
Well, yeah, I know they skip
just
everything
not
that's
there.
not Duel Monsters associated. Like, whole Yugi being a serial killer thing, that's not.
Yeah, that's
anime.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero.
There are points when it follows it pretty closely, but then there are points where they're like, we're going to drag this out for a really long time. And Joey gets a lot more focus in the anime.
You're not
Okay.
Are we going to have to read this?
So, yeah, the episodes where, Taya and Yugi go to play, DDR, that's filler, unfortunately.
Wait, the DDR episode's filler?
What? Filler.
Oh, man.
We got more
So sad.
Taya Gardner, character development in that than we did all of, Duelist Kingdom.
I love the fuck this bird when in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge when they're doing the date and they're singing along to the Beauty and the Beast and it's Taya. She's like, oh, look at this, everything's great, yada yada yada, and then it cuts to Yami Yugi's version, him singing now, and he's like, these fucking birds. he's like he hates everything about this date. I'm like,
ugh.
Peak. All right, Little Karibo. Thank you.
Thank you
Yu-Gi-Oh!
for-
Bridge was just
You made my high school, college years so much better.
my hair gives me super strength.
In America.
In America. The fact that we still say that to this day, I forget that is a catchphrase.
That is imprinted in me somewhere deep.
Yeah,
that just comes out with without me even knowing. Someone will just be in America, and I'll just be in America, and I'll be like, why did I even say that?
I took away your Americanness. You're now Canadian. Oh, dude. But yeah, that makes me wonder. All right, so minus the Noah arc, we know Noah was filler because you could just tell the pacing that it was. The fact that we were about to go into like the final arc where it was like this battle that actually mattered.
Right.
Like if that arc had happened after that duel, I would have thought that it was canon.
Yeah.
It's just
if it didn't
stupid.
just completely like derail the main storyline.
Yeah,
then it could have fit easy.
It could have fit anywhere else in the story, but it derailed the we just found out like an episode ago that Merrick was the bad guy. Spoiler alert.
Oh my god.
Merrick's the bad guy.
I tried rewatching that the other day when I was
I love Yu-Gi-Oh!
Painting stuff for our props for Katsu. I was just like, I need something on in the background that can like just be noise.
Right.
And I realized that when I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh, I had stopped halfway through the Atlantis season.
Oh, isn't that filler?
Atlantis season?
Yeah.
It could be. I don't know. It's like 50 episodes.
It is filler.
Yeah, it's the dragons with the
the three
Timaeus.
Timaeus.
Tobias, Propagandus, and
Menitis.
Yeah, Tinnitus.
Gingivitis.
It could be
Gingivitis.
So that is filler. Okay. Yeah, our producer just confirmed that Waking the Dragons is all filler. Yeah. Which makes sense because it takes place in between Battle City and the Yami goes back to Egypt.
Again, he goes to he has all 3 Egyptian god cards. He goes to the tablet to open his thing, and then it derails the story.
Yeah.
Would have fit anywhere else, but
they were like, "Fuck, let's animate it." Yeah. And I wonder if that was a case of it caught up to the manga, or if it was just like, we need to drag this out because it's making money.
It's making money from card. I could believe it's making money from the card games.
I could easily see them
like the manga was already done, and they were just like,
because I definitely feel like that's a case where the cards were making so much more money than the anime was, but they were like, we just need to keep it because we already have the time slot on WB, so let's just keep animating something because it's easy marketing.
Right, I could believe that.
I mean, even to this day, Yu-Gi-Oh is making money.
Yeah,
like hand over foot, and I don't even. Is there a series currently being aired for Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. It's like the Rush Duel one where they only play like 3 cards in the field instead of 5. It's like all the kids in it now. Like there's no like anything. Like the gimmick is that instead of having like 10 cards or whatever, it's called Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 because you only have 7 spaces total. It's actually pretty fun, but like it's nothing like Yu-Gi-Oh! At all.
Oh, so it's just a different game completely now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's lame.
What about the filler in Inuyasha?
Filler in Inuyasha? Mm-hmm. You mean like all of it?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's ridiculous amounts of filler. Inuyasha is like rife with filler.
Is it? I never watched.
So bad, but like the way that the filler is written, as far as story progression, because like in the manga, she like things happen and she just has more and more Shikon jewels. Right, so like she just always has like she's always getting more. So the way that the anime does it is that they have like these stupid little things where like this demon has a Shikon jewel and like that's how she gets it. And like she does get Shikon jewels, like that's not like cataloged in the manga. Like not every jewel shard she gets is like in the manga. There'll be like sequences where she goes by and she has a bigger shard. But the anime just makes it so that she's always collecting. So seems canon if you've never read the manga. It just seems like it's canon, but there are just like blatant filler episodes as well. It's weird. It is a weird thing. I think that Inuyasha can get away with it because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the Fireman's Calendar in Fire Force, though. One of the best filler episodes I've ever seen in my entire life. No. Oh, yeah, it's filler.
Is it filler?
It's filler. It will. So, it was like a cover page,
okay,
I think, between one of the chapters, and they were like, screw it, let's go.
Done.
I don't care. Fan service.
It was amazing. It was so amazing. All right, everyone. Well, I think that is going to finish up this episode here. We've kind of extinguished everything, all the fillers that we've allowed to stay in our mind. I'm sure there's some horrible ones that we've just blanked out entirely.
I feel like I could definitely, like, if I like went under hypnosis or something like that, they could bring out some like traumatizing like fillers that I just like tried to completely blank from my memory. Like they definitely exist.
See, I have that like syndrome where I just start playing on my phone and I'm just like, I probably don't even watch fillers.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So if you enjoyed everything, if you enjoyed our kind of attempt at talking about fillers, or if there's any fillers that are worth mentioning, you can always like bring them up again, like the infamous Dragon Ball Z license episode, or any quality Bleach episode as well. We'll obviously talk about those at some point as well. We should probably do a whole episode just on Bleach episode. Yeah. Just like, here's this girl in a bathing suit. Have fun.
Mm-hmm. And if you hated this episode, just know that we'll get back to the main storyline next week.
Yeah, we'll be back.
We'll be back talking about manga and anime. Video games. I don't know.
More anime stuff.
We'll figure that out.
I don't know.
Yeah. Fly by the seats.
How we be.
All right.
Take it easy.
Adios. Guys. If you like that episode, you can follow us on all of our social media, Instagram, Spotify, Facebook, or TikTok at Not Mike, Not Pat.
If that's not your cup of tea, you can also follow us on Twitter at NotMike_NotPat. Or, if you want to, we'll be doing our live streams of animes and video games at our Twitch channel at Not Mike, Not Pat as well.